Pronto, pronto, pronto. Vamos começar? Tá muito alto.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Vou começar do começo, com a casa. Boa noite, Edith. Caraca, que bonito. Está tudo no ultra, hein? Se explodir a live.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Interessante. Ó, que legal. Eita. Chat, como é que tá o volume?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Eu não tinha voltado desde o funeral do meu irmão, Lewis. Eita porra. Cara, que da hora, velho. Lá. Você mandou hoje, Ebs? Onde você mandou?
In her will, my mother left me a key.
Depois me manda no Discord.
Didn't tell me what I'd unlocked.
Por favor. Minha mãe deixou a chave para mim, mas não disse para quê.
Maybe she thought I'd know.
Obrigada.
Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Que massa, cara. Já curti já o estilo do jogo. Já gostei, já gostei.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Pegadas de cavalo, The Last of Us 2. Será que a Ellie veio aqui? Eita! Um cervo. Começou as histórias de cervo, mano. Todo jogo é isso, cara.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to
É um
it.
final bom.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Só faltou. Caraca, que casa é essa, mano? Que
The house
doideira.
was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
What the fuck? Valeu, Ebs. Vou dar uma baixadinha, chat. Eu acho que vou ter que baixar tudo, na real. Ih, sapo cururu. Tá porra. E dos jornal, porra. Caralho, mano. Eu ia falar norjal. Chifre não corre não, hein? Acho que esse personagem não corre não, mano. Cheio do jornal. Quem tá perdido? Milton.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Esse jogo tem mais ou menos quanto tempo, Ezio?
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Umas 3? Acho que rola hoje, hein?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Ah, que interessante, mano. A Annapurna faz um jogo muito foda, né, velho? Pariu. Pra quem não lembra, a Annapurna, a gente jogou o do Artful Escape e o 12 minutos, cara. Foi muito legal, velho. É da Annapurna, pô. Annapurna faz um jogo muito absurdo, cara. É, isso responde muita coisa, né? Buraquinho específico. Que isso?
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Eu quero pegar a coleção inteira, mano, da Annapurna, na moral, velho. Nossa, aqui em casa tem desse negocinho aqui, mó legal. Vocês gostam? Vai entrar pela casa do gato? Pois é.
Going through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Você gostar muito de Annapurna depois que viu Artful Escape. Cara, aquele jogo foi maravilhoso, velho. Eu gostei muito desde o... Tanto do Artful Escape, mas o 12 minutos pra mim foi muito legal, cara. Acho que o pacote completo com todos os jogos tá R$300. Então o preço de um jogo, né? Atual. Se você parar pra pensar. Poxa, essa bolinha é muito específica em cima do carro. Por quê?
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Mano, tá muito da hora esse estilo aqui, velho. O Annapurna é o que vai ter, mano, o Stray. Que até hoje não deram data, né? Falaram que ia ser antes do
But instead
Natal.
of a family, there were just memories of one.
Ó, o Lewis, que é o irmão dela, que ela falou que morreu, né?
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Bonzão beber água, velho. O Stray, nossa, cara, eu tô muito ansiosa pra aquele jogo, velho. Muito mesmo. Quero muito jogar ele. Juntou tudo que eu amo no jogo, pô. E ainda é da Annapurna, aí pronto, aí acabou.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Pô, mas por que eles foram embora assim, cara? Alguém era... Ed.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Ah, era a
It was like
brisa
a bomb
deles.
had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Caralho, bicho. É, tá cheio de bichinho na comida. Cheio de bichinho.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Pô, mas que lugar bonito, hein, pra uma casa.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Esse jogo full detalhado, que todo livro tem um nome. Você consegue dar até o detalhe. Sim, cara, é muito da hora, velho. Saca, pra você ter, tipo assim, você tem noção que os caras foram lá e fez questão de fazer coisinha por coisinha, velho. Eu acho foda isso. Sinal de que os caras realmente saca. Pô, mas eu acho que uma coisa que a Annapurna tem é um detalhe de coisa, velho. De interação. Pô, todos os jogos deles, velho. Tem outro de puzzle lá que eu quero pegar, que parece ser muito legal também. Fala, Kenny. Boa noite, meu querido. Tudo bom? Parece muito feito,
Great-Grandpa
saca, com
Sven
cuidado.
built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Olha isso, velho. Que da hora, mano. O jeito que eles colocam os diálogos, velho. Meu Deus do céu, muito massa, velho. Ai, que jogo.
Mom always
Tá
told me to stay out
proibido.
of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
E também não é aqui. Tá proibido pegar os jogos da Annapurna de forma ilegal. Tá proibido. Fiz algo como hoje. Entrei no Facebook. Caralho, mano. Eu entro no Facebook só pra ir no Marketplace.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Será que tinha aqui? Na verdade, botaram, né?
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was
Oh,
alive.
valeu, Kenny. Obrigada, meu querido. Eita porra, que isso, mano? Caralho. O que tem nessa porta aqui, velho? Ó. Ó as fotos, velho.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
É, eu acho que a maioria é tudo indie, velho. E a outra aqui tá tudo lacrado mesmo, velho. Ó aqueles bichinhos. Como é que chama, chat? Ah, não, acho que esse aqui não é aqueles ratinhos, não. Aqueles ratinhos dos rabinhos grandão, assim, ó. Não. Que tem no filme da
I
Coraline.
spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Que
I
tem
think
no
my
filme
mom
da
sometimes
Coraline,
regretted
mano.
not sealing it up.
Como é que chama? Que da hora esse quarto.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Será que é aqui? É daqui, velho.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Capítulo 1.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
E ó o Stray aqui, ó. Gatinho. Plot twist pro outro jogo.
Boa noite,
Léo!
2 anos.
Aí sim, meu querido. Caraca, mano, bedzinha vermelha, é isso mesmo? Diga alguma mensagem, deixa eu ver. Obrigada, velho. Obrigada pelos 24 meses, cara. Isso é tempo demais, velho. Obrigada por sempre apoiar o canal, mano. E confiar o Prime aqui. Me ajuda muito, cara. Olha lá que bonitinho! Bedzinha vermelha. Que gracinha, mano. Cada vez mais gente com a bedzinha vermelha, mano. Muito bom, cara. Obrigada, meu querido. Obrigada de coração, velho, pelo apoio. Como é que você tá? Você tá bem?
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Como foi seu dia, velho? Bem-vinda aos Pamonhas Vermelhas.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Molly. E o ratinho vazou fora. Que bom que você tá vendo.
Molly's
mano.
gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Aí, ó, não é gerbil. Não é gerbil. Gerboa, véi. É isso mesmo. É esse rato que eu tô falando. Ele tem um rabão grandão, assim, ó. É esse aqui, pô.
Being inside
Mó
for the first
bonitinho.
time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Bonitinho. Isso, uma lagartinha? Porquinho. Tá mole, né?
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
Pera aí. Ela morreu também? What? Todo mundo morreu? É o mini canguru.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Você não vai comer o rato, né, menina? Pelo amor de Deus. O rato você não come. Ah, tá, a
gerbil
ração.
food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Ainda bem, né? O peixe não... Sushi, foda-se.
I kept eating and eating.
Caralho, menina.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Nem é de comer. Tá comendo trem de plástico.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Me.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
É por causa do
Mom
tico-tico.
and Dad didn't even look at me.
Barulhinho gostosinho, né, mano? Vezes ronronado. Fala, passarinho. Ó, você me perdoa, mano, mas eu tô vendo seu ninho ali, hein?
The babies were all gone.
Ih. Também meu. Acho que não, Brasil.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Não vou subir mais não, menina. Tá louco?
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
The
First,
fuck?
all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Ah, da hora, velho. Ih, nós é uma coruja. Cujura. Coruja. Zoom. Vou no ventilador. Eu vou no ventilador mesmo aqui. Não. Coelho? Cadê? Ah, coelho. Como é que pega? Coelhão buchudo.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Pô, mas o webcam tá atrapalhando vocês ler, né, mano? Acho melhor ela dar uma trocada de lugar, né? Pelo jeito.
a mama rabbit.
Aonde? Na esquerda aparece muito texto, velho. Eu quase não vi. Ela falou, eu não vi não, mano. Eu quero. Menina, você cadê? Não, mano. É, parece na esquerda, aparece muito texto. Esquerda, baixo, mano. Ah, tá aqui.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Aí é foda, né, véi? Help! Help! Please help! É os sonhos do Brazuca aqui, mano. Ui!
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Tá, porra. Dum 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 dum. Dum
I
dum dum
wanted
dum.
fat, juicy seals.
Eita. Cadê o bicho, mano? Pega, 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 pega. Nhac! Tá, porra.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Tinha, acho que a bizarrice tá aí na menina falando, né, mano? Sei. Realista. Pega, 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 pega.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Que eu sou, mano? Que isso? Que nojo! Ó.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Não vai pra cá, não? Isso aqui eu vou voltar. Tentando ir pela música, mas eu acho que não é por aqui, não. Vai lá mesmo. Não é cobra. Mas é meio nojento, né? Será que vai ser aqui pra frente, velho?
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Eita porra! Boa noite, Hildro. Fala, Gus. Boa noite, mano.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Onde vocês estão, velho? Que promoção, sai fora. Eu, hein? Vamos entrar aqui. Isso, então.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ih, vai sair no cu de alguém.
I got closer and closer.
Ué. A gente voltou pro quarto.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Não faço ideia, Hildon. Eu sei que é um monte de história numa mesma casa. Ó, doideira, velho.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Cat, deixa eu tentar mudar aqui de lado, velho. Agora todos os textos vão aparecer daqui, tá ligado? O barulho de um gato, vocês ouviram? Olha o gatinho ali!
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Então o gato
I
que era
spent a
mole?
lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Caraca, que putaria de coisa, velho. Uma cobra, Bob. Que isso? Um passarinho. Burp. Esse aqui não tem nome. Derp. Burp, Derp. Derp Jr. Lurp. Rob. Um sapo cururu. Burp. Derp, burp, burp, derp, erp. Derp, derp. Eita.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Será que a webcam fica melhor? Esquerda inferior ou esquerda superior? Vê se vai aparecer texto daqui agora, né? Eita.
Her room was like a
Pode deixar, vou
museum.
colocar. Odin. Calma aí, vamos ver os outros negócios. Passarinho de chapéu, foda-se. Caixinha de remédio. Muitos passarinhos. Tubarão de papel.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Ah!
She didn't.
O escorregador dentro d'água, velho. Aqui, ó. Caraca, mano. Ele morreu construindo o bagulho. Que bosta. Que triste. Caralho, velho. Aí é foda.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was
Meu
the
Deus, olha
pink bathroom.
o banheiro, mano. Ó o sapo! Sapo.
It was a pretty big trace.
Eita. Carpete no banheiro é nojento, né? Só um pouquinho, só.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ah, que massa, velho. Pô, que tanta gente morreu.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Milton. Balancinho. Fizeram essa de revelação de foto, não? Eita porra. A divisão, véi. A divisão de quartos. Que massa.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Ah.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ó, o pé fudido já.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Agora tá bem na
But that
webcam,
day,
mas não é possível.
he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Peraí, eu não posso parar, não? Eu posso parar. Tá, que eu tenho que continuar. Quem teve a ideia? Pressuposto. Ai, moleque, para aí, mano. Ó o pezinho. Para porra nenhuma, mano. Ah, com o barulhão, velho. Agonia.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Puta que pariu, velho. Sim, Brazuki. Ah, que agonia.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Eita porra, velho. O moleque foi-se. Carai, bicho. Que doideira.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
F. Voou e foi pro céu, né? E foi-se.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Barulho. Ficou um lá pra trás, né, velho? Uma história, eu achei que se eu fosse pegar ia dar ruim. Será que tem como voltar lá depois? Lá atrás ficou um antes do banheiro.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Pois é, a casa é cheia de coisa, mano. Cheia de cômodos escondidos. Caraca, fumava, porra? Essa menina não era nova, não, né? Não, acho que não, né? Trabalhava de garçonete. É, não, olha lá. 1944, 1960.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending
Caraca, que doideira,
of
velho.
Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting
Caralho.
better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had
What
to
the
be
fuck?
rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe.
Ah, é a caixinha de música lá, véi.
20 minutes later,
Não esquece de chat.
Rick hadn't returned.
Pra abrir o porão.
Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was
Doideira,
silent.
velho. Caraca, que jogo doido, mano. Cara, a música! Fudeu!
She found Rick's crutch and imagined
Mas eu tô tomando
the
spoiler do
worst.
que vai acontecer. Que massa, velho. Toma.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Aí é o Diego perto da galinha do Brasil.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
É, tomar no seu cu, velho. Eu, hein. Toma.
Rick?
Barb, relax.
Toma no cu.
I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Ih, carai. Que isso, porra? Sunso, caralho. Sai fora, maluco. Cadeira de ovo.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Isso aqui é o jogo mostrando os lugares que dá pra passar, tá ligado?
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow.
Putz. E o cara não ouviu? Será que ele é surdo? Toma.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Caralho?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Que isso, mano? Essa história tá melhor que muito jogo de terror já.
dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Aí é foda.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her.
Plot twist.
Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Vai tomar no cu, velho.
She saw what kind of monsters
Tá acontecendo,
they were,
Kenny.
and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous.
Eita porra.
And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same
A casa não tinha uns bagulho lá pra
And
cima.
little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Caralho! Que?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Que da hora, velho. Caralho, que massa, velho. Melhor que o Outlast.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Que massa, maluco. O jogo tava meio que mostrando os lugares que dava pra ir, né, velho? Como é que nós saímos daqui? Vixe. Como é que nós entrou aqui, chat? Já fudeu. Ah, é, foi aqui. Pulei.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Vou tentar voltar lá, mas eu acho que não dá, velho. Deixa eu ver.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Foi antes do banheiro. Foi aqui, ó. No quarto da bisa dela.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Bem esse aqui, ó.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Parecendo Darwin esse cara aqui. Ai, pô.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
Que?
hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Fala, Xaropei,
Odin's
tudo
daughter,
bom, meu
Edith,
querido?
with husband Sven and
Como é que você
baby
tá?
Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Fala, Júlia. Que foi, bem? Que foi? Vem cá, vem. Sobe aqui. Sobe aqui, seu pãozinho. Sula. Não dá pra ver a Sula, tá aqui. Ué. Em casa, a Ed e a Bisa, né? E agora? Acabou, mas e aí? O jogo me deixa sair daqui? Eu não saí não, aí. Eu fui pro menu, vai. Cadê aí, mulher? Ah, tem que ir pra trás, pô.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Agora eu fiz a história dele.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
Vai dar certo, não vai ter que voltar lá. Mas eu acho que por aqui não vai, não. Júlia, para de me zunhar, filha da puta. Para cu. Para cu. Ele sabe de tudo, sabe nada. Mentira. Gatinho! Tchucu, 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 tchucu. Ela tá tipo isso mesmo, me mordendo aqui. A Júlia, ela, quando ela fica muito carinhosa assim, ela começa a babar, velho. Ela fica babando em mim. Na verdade, Júlia. Não dá Bárbara aqui.
Edie's father Odin built the original
Eita.
house.
Ela começou a falar duas histórias ao mesmo tempo. A Deguinha de vinho.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Da gatinhos, por quê? Vamos tentar ir lá na caixinha de música, velho? A caixinha de música tá bem aqui, não tá? Entra debaixo da mesa e bota o focinho na minha barriga. Pra eu brincar com ela. É isso. E a orelha dela que não tá ali. Ai, Júlia! Filha da puta. Para! Enterrada a orelha? Pode ser, né? Isso não, acho que tá muito esquisito. Ih, sinuquinha, chat. Sinuquinha. Nossa, vai. Ela fica enfiando a unha na minha coxa, cara. Tá tudo riscado já. Ai, meu Deus do céu. Olha aqui, chat. O gatinho tá carente, mãe. Ai, não, gatinho. Igual um gatinho mesmo. Assim. Cheirinho bom. Vou ver só um tufinho preto. Eita, bichinho podre. Não, não morde fole, não. Nossa, minha perna tá toda arriscada agora, velho.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Eita porra, serra. Gnomos. Ó o projeto do... Negócio acho que é da casa, né, velho? Ah, você entrou aqui só pra pedir uma reladinha e vai embora. Beleza.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Foi o escorrega do dragão que matou o maluco, mano. Eita, a geladeira aqui.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Que porra de lugar é esse, velho?
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Bunker, foda-se. Ixi, onde é que ele ficou? Veião.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Ih, Berg! Ô, meu querido! Obrigada, mano.
noite.
Obrigada, velho. Obrigada pelos 13 meses de apoio, velho. Obrigada de coração por continuar apoiando o canal, velho. Me ajuda muito. Obrigada, velho. Obrigada por confiar o Prime aqui. Como é que você tá? Você tá bom?
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Obrigada, velho.
Having a schedule, living for today.
Que isso? Pesseguim? Pêssego em conserva.
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Ó, janeiro de 1976, hein?
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
2005, velho.
stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Pega aí, pô. Confias? Ué, pera, ela não entrou assim não, né, no lugar. Porra, esse lugar é esse? Ué? Mas não subiu escada não, subiu? Vai bem reto.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Está lá fora em algum lugar.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me.
Caralho, que da hora, velho. Caralho, que foda. Pô, o jogo tá muito bem feito, cara. Que isso, mano. Deixa eu ver aqui. E nós veio? Foi, né? E lá ver se dá pra ver um.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Que bosta, velho. Caraca, o jogo filho da puta deu maior esperança que ele ia poder lá sair e tal. Morreu pro trem. Nossa, cara. Morreu pro trem, mano. Chat, nós já morreu, né, então. Nós tá vendo essas histórias aqui, porque ela já tá marcada ali, né? Isso. Caralho, mano, que rolê, velho. Ele saiu na trilha do trem, eu já tinha certeza. Porra, aí é foda, velho. Que jogo bom, né, Vinícius? Também acho.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under
Mas
the
ela
house,
só tá marcando os que tá morto. Ela não marcou os outros. O desenho não, aqui, ó. Quem tá desenhado é os que já morreu, né? Ah, mas o dela não tem a data da morte, mas ela tá desenhada. Sei não, hein? Sei não, hein? Não, os outros já tem as datas aqui, ó. Plot twist vai ser aquela...
I
Eita,
don't want to
porra.
make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse.
Pô, agora tá parecendo Life is
We
Strange,
made it
hein?
real.
Ah. Caralho, mano. Oxi! Terror? Não, Melo.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Cara, ficou muito bem feito isso, né, velho? Eita porra. Acendeu. Acendeu.
But I
Caralho.
thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
O jogo não deixou nada.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Então ela tá fazendo isso aqui pra outra pessoa?
I think the people in these stories believed them. for what that's worth.
Ou ela tá conversando com nós? Acho improvável ela tá conversando com nós. Puta que escuro. Pô, será que ali é a casa? Não teve uma que a casa que o cara foi flutuar com a casa dele lá? Será que aquela ali é a casa? Não, né? Ou é sim. Porque aí a bisa dela construiu essa daqui, não foi? Eu acho que é a casa que tá lá no meio, velho.
And when you look at the house,
Bar
that
casa.
history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Ah, porra, escurão, mano. Porra, olha a volta que o balanço deu.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Bem pensado, bem pensado. Eita porra, não vai no cemitério.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are
Burp,
mine,
derp, derp, junior,
2 have
chirpy,
been my fault.
furpy, lurpy, zurpy. Lucy, Charlie, Daisy, Zoe. Pô, esse teve muito bichinho, né, mano?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Bárbara. Acho que tá faltando gente aqui, hein? Molly. Calvin. Foi o que nós viu até agora.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Será que era pra nós estar aqui em cima agora, mano? Tinha um Rob.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she
Sabia,
dreamed about
velho.
the old house every night.
Era a casa mesmo, maluco. Tem que molhar mais. O monumento é disso, né, também. Só que vai ter como ir lá? Acho que sim, né?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming
Par de
from.
coxas. Sam.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Fala, Ganji. Como é que você tá, meu querido? Bem? Você tá bom?
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Como é que foi a live hoje, Ganji?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. but looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ih! Grávida? Subindo num galho? Entendi. Entendi, pô. Andando no telhado aí, grávida. Eu, hein? Onde sua cu?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Eu já tô fazendo parkour, já não nasci, tá?
They were both pretty intense.
Caraca, aqui é jeitosinho, hein? Se não fosse esse tanto de bicho morto aqui. Ih,
Sam
ele
spent
era
his
full.
life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Então. Porra, parece mó aconchegante, velho.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to
Boa
go out
noite,
of his way to
Bernie.
meet
E aí,
it.
meu querido, como é que você tá? Tudo certo, Berninho? Trabalhando hoje? Olha o gato descendo a porrada no esquilo. Esquilo! Coisa aqui em cima. Pegou Covid? Como assim, Berninho? Mas você tá vacinado? Como é que tá sendo os sintomas? Tava com as 3 doses, Berninho? Seu cunhado tá internado? Caraca, como assim, velho?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These
Caraca,
memories are
Berninho.
gonna last a lifetime.
Melhoras, Berninho. Vai falando com a gente,
Am I gonna
velho.
have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Só dor de cabeça e dor no corpo. Tá desativado o ganho. Tá na gameplay, só pra ficar mais imersivo.
It's gonna rain
Ah.
the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Meu Deus, já dei mijando.
Hey,
That's a keeper.
Definitely should not have drunk all that.
Não deixaram. Mas
I'm just
você ia
saying,
tomar por
I'm not always
agora?
gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Entendi, Berninho. Pô, mas vai ficar de boa, mano. Melhoras pra ti, pro seu cunhado, sua irmã.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
Tinha foto de tudo aqui, ó.
Maybe.
Peixe!
Or was it?
Eita, o que é aquilo?
Could have been.
Eu tenho que descobrir o que eu tenho que tirar foto aqui, né? Cada vez que eu tiro uma foto, ele fica respondendo.
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Cara chato, mano. Tem nada aqui, mano. Passarinho.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Flau. Fotão, velho.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Foto do pé. O que ele falou?
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Tá porra.
Great shot, Dawn!
É ruim, né, Berninho? Eita porra.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
O menino não curtiu muito no rolê, não, vai.
Sorry, Dawn, just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Caralho, plot twist! Caralho, por essa eu não esperava,
All
velho.
these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Fuck, mano. Cara, que doideira. Eu tive, Bernie, eu tive Covid, eu fiquei desse jeito também, acredita, velho? É muito ruim. Mas seu sintoma tá bem de boa, Bernie. Vai ser tranquilo pra você passar. Mas com as vacinas, sabe? Carnezinha, pronta para comer.
After Sam died,
Pode.
my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Ué. Ah, é daqui. Tremor. Sempre fica de olho no sintoma pra não... Eita porra, que doideira. Eita.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Putz.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Sapão, maluco. Plau! Tem como botar esse sapo pra andar, não, mano? Deixa eu ver. Ah, tem sim.
Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Pá. Carai! Toma!
I wonder what he saw.
Toma, porra.
What his world was like.
Ospa! Plau. Vai nada, pô. Relaxa. Não é possível. É provável, na real, né?
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
Tá, porra!
Lost in his imagination.
Esse banheiro tá enchendo? Chat, a banheira tá enchendo. Esse banheiro tá mais cheia. Eu tô louco.
Whatever it was he saw.
O jogo vai me fazer pular lá na torneira, né, velho?
Sure made him happy.
É, o jogo vai me fazer pular lá no bagulho, velho. Pelo menos eu acho que é isso. Não é não? Não é não, não é não. É pra trás, pra trás.
I know how silly it sounds,
Bolha, bolha.
but I worried about a baby being too happy.
Bolha, bolha, caralho, bolha.
But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could.
Tá de boa. Também.
Maybe if I hadn't called
Tava
that
controlando o sapo. Também, porra. Minha mãe lembrou de nós, caralho.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Caralho, mano. Mó free, me tira daqui, porra.
I wish he could have told us
É, fudeu.
about the world.
Fudeu. 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 Desliga. Fudeu. Meu Deus do céu, fudeu muito.
Hey, there's so much I don't understand.
Caralho, véi.
About everything.
Fala, Deligo. Boa noite, meu querido. Tudo bom? Caralho, mano. Tomamos no cu ainda, véi.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
Caralho, mano.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Que doideira, mano. Pô, o moleque tinha 1 ano só. Pô. Foda.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing
Because-
poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Vocês não vão conseguir ler nada. Da hora, velho.
My father made him come, of course.
Alguém tá
Gus
casando
stood far
aqui.
apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Eita porra. Eita.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Tá porra. Aí é foda. Puta, revoltado.
Wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Eita!
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Eita.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Putz. Caraca, morreu no casamento, véi.
She never talked about him, but
Teve
Mom told me
tempestade.
once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Putz. E é foda. Eita.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Nossa, que lugar massa, mano. Putz. Porra, eu acharia da hora um lugar assim. Nossa, mano. Imagina um quartinho assim, chat, ó. Ixi, eu achar bonzão, mano.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Porra, mas tanta gente que morreu também, né?
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Ah, o Lewis é o irmão dela, que ela começou falando dele.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Aqui tá parecendo Life is Strange 3. Nossa, que varandinha massa, mano. Porra.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Porra, olha isso.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
A vibe desde que o último vis.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Pô, eu queria tirar um print. Não, tirou um print do jogo aí. Vamos tirar.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Não tem a data da morte dele, né? Porque só sumiu. Ah, ele desenhou uma porta. Fala, Hatsuki.
Acho de Jugeu Alfa Fisigos de Fafisei Doidoros Fissuas Dodoitsei Desurdoitskegit dos Gisefeiro Fidikivis Ofifigis de que disse.
Achei poético. Como é que você tá, mano? Boa noite. Bom.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Sumiu!
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Era o que ela mais fazia, né?
Found in the house. Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Fábrica de conservas. Ih, Nargas.
Lewis's room smelled very
Tá bem, Hatsuki? Você tá bem? Tá tendo um derrame, mano? Você quer que eu ligue pra ambulância, velho? Cara, o cara, ó só... Ué! Cai pelo beat. Dormiu no teclado, porra. Maconha. Que viagem é essa, meu? A mosquinha. Caraca, velho.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
Não senti nada, porque eu errei.
Then something moved. He felt his way about. 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 bats, and toads.
Ah, porra.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Cachorro?
He told me he'd made a new friend.
Ah, cachorro. Parece, né?
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Que massa, velho. Você viu? Você faz
He
aqui.
built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming.
Nossa, ele tava muito, era louco da cabeça já.
Every day his imagination grew strong.
Porra, ó. Por lançar motor aqui, ó, chat. Corta peixe e anda ali. Corta peixe e anda ali. Ó o peixe.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Claro, né?
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Caralho.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Ela tá todo leléu da cabeça já, maluco.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
lindo príncipe.
Beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for
Serpente sinistra, né, pô? Que arco-íris o quê, maluco?
sinister serpents.
Eita! Eita!
He followed the sound of his electric sitar.
Caraca, o somzinho é muito bom, né, velho?
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Caraca, esse príncipe aí parece ser ricão, hein, ó. Com as roupas de peixe. De cobra.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Caralho, o cara ficou muito louco, mano.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Puta que pariu, velho.
He began to forget the world we know.
Ah, o bagulho de comida chinesa que ele sempre pedia.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Um monte de personagem do Other Ring, mano.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Tchau, é o gato do Stray, mano. Mentira, é a Molly. É a Molly.
His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Até mais, Berlim. Bom trabalho, meu querido. Melhoras, viu?
Bend down his head.
Nossa, nem fudendo, velho. Caralho.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Caralho, velho. Que doideira, mano. Que doideira, velho.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Do que nunca foi achado, né? O cartaz deles, velho.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long
Fala,
time.
JC. Boa noite, meu querido. Como é que você tá, mano? Tá bom?
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Cara do pêssego.
But it had to end one way or another.
Caraca, que lugarzinho
All that's
massa,
left
mano.
now was to tell you about that last night.
Porra, eu queria ter um quartinho assim. Eu tô bem,
The whole
velho.
last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Agora não vai conseguir ir lá.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
What's...
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Caralho.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
Eu? A
I'm still
história...
not sure what to tell you about all this.
A história quem tá lendo é a filha dela, não é?
If
O
we
filho
lived
dela.
forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Ó, nós vai sair agora, chat, ó. Vamos nascer. Vamos nascer, velho.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Ih, olha lá, falei que ela morreu.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Foi um molequinho, pô. Sabia que ela tava morta, maluco. Pô, o jogo é maravilhoso, mano. Que isso, cara? Que jogo foda, velho.